This is how I learned how MrBeast solved YouTube. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about audience retention. This is a very common question that I get asked in my DMs. What is audience retention? So in this video, this is what exactly I'm going to be talking about and how you can solve this issue if you are having it in your YouTube videos. So if you go into your analytics, you will see how YouTube has actually divided and kind of like came up with a scientific way of studying our YouTube videos. And one of the things that YouTube shows you as a content creator is your audience retention. So if you look at your analytics, you will see under your videos where it's written key moments. So basically key moments, which is also called the golden benchmark, it is the first 30 seconds of your video. So I've spoken about several things around this time frame of your YouTube videos that also includes advertiser friendly content, that the first 30 seconds are reserved probably for adverts. That's what I think. And how you're not allowed to actually use profanity in those first 30 seconds. I think YouTube kind of like pushed it down to your first 8 seconds and also your 30 seconds because of that very reason. However, though, your first 30 seconds on YouTube is extremely important because it tells the YouTube algorithm if people are still interested in watching your YouTube video. So that is why I say your first 3 seconds to about 5 seconds to about 10 seconds, you better come with it. Bring the game and hook your audience and make sure that they keep watching all the way to your first 30 seconds of your video. And once you have grabbed the attention in your first 30 seconds of your video, then it is your job to keep them watching from that point on all the way to the end of your video. We're going to talk all about that in detail because I learned something while I was busy looking at MrBeast videos and thinking, why is this guy one of the biggest YouTubers on earth? And then I realized some few things, that he utilizes his first 30 seconds of the video, how he hooks people with his videos. Of course, he's got billions of dollars in my mind. That's what I'm thinking, because he's got lots of money. And if you watch his content is unmatched to what we are doing. I do talking head videos, and I'm trying to think as I was busy watching his videos and taking some notes about his videos, and I'm like, but I do talking head videos, how am I going to match this? But I also realized that there are ways that I can also improvise my own videos as talking heads to kind of like come too close to what MrBeast is doing in order to keep the audience still watching. Can you believe it? MrBeast keeps about 76% of his audience retention from the first 30 seconds all the way to the end of his video. 76%. This is something that many YouTubers cannot achieve. Yes, all your big YouTubers, your favorite YouTubers, they never reach 76% of audience retention. That is a massive, it's a dream for any YouTuber to just get at least 50% of audience retention because, come on, let's be honest, the world's attention span is decreasing by the minute. It is said that humans these days have an attention span of a goldfish. That's why we have shorts, we have TikTok and Instagram Reels, and they are all within a very short space of time in order for you to squeeze in the content that you want to squeeze in. So let's go to MrBeast. What exactly does he do in order to retain this 76% audience retention from the beginning of his videos to the very end? And it all got everything to do with the first 30 seconds. Actually, I'm going way too long. His first 3 to 5 seconds. This is where the magic lies. So the first thing that he does, he talks to the title of the video. So you have a title of the video, like the title of my video is exactly what I said in the beginning of this video. That's MrBeast. The next thing that MrBeast is going to do, which I'm not doing in this video, at the 5th second mark, he will then speak to the thumbnail of the video. If the thumbnail of the video is about a boat that cost $1 billion, you will see the boat in the video in the first 5 seconds of his video, and then you'll be like, oh wow, indeed it exists. And then of course you're already captured. So the next thing that you're going to do as a viewer is wonder, how does $1 billion yacht looks like? And then of course you're going to start following him as he goes into the boat or into the yacht. Sorry, I keep calling the boat. As he goes into the yacht, and then he shows you the glory of this yacht inside, what it has, if it's a smart yacht, and if it is a smart yacht, or what features does it have, and what stays where, and how much everything inside, or is the furniture or the decor, all that stuff, you'll be intrigued. And which kind of leads me to my third point, which is he builds curiosity. Curiosity plays a major role. So it's either you build curiosity. If it's not curiosity that you're going to build, you build fear. If you're not going to build fear, you build expectation. So at the end of the day, your title as well as the thumbnail of your video must build expectation the moment a person click on your thumbnail and say, okay, what do you have for me? That is why clickbaits are very dangerous what you call zones to travel on, because if you are not going to debunk the clickbait of the title of your video as well as the thumbnail, then you're going to have a lot of people dropping out of that video before it even hits its first 30 seconds. That is why your first 30 seconds are extremely important. That's where your audience retention. Again, this first 30 seconds, YouTube considers it as the golden benchmark, aka key moments. So do not take the first 30 seconds of your video for granted. In what I've just said thus far, have you ever heard me talk about the intro of your video? No. Why? Because intros waste that 30 seconds. That is why you do not put your intro, whether it's a video intro or your own intro. Like in my videos, I will say, hello business partners, my name is Clantis and welcome to Clantis on Business. That wastes time. Just get into the video and start building that curiosity or fear or expectation. So the fourth thing that you are going to do is introduce a problem that you are going to solve in the video. Now remember, when you introduce the problem, you are actually telling the person that is watching, if it's a fearful type of problem, how you're going to solve the problem. Basically, you lay the problem and then you tell the audience, keep watching so you can see how I solve the problem. Of course, if it's fear, people will sit twiddling their thumbs waiting to see how are you going to solve the problem. If it's about finances and how to get out of debt, then you are able to lay down the problem and say, okay, you are in debt and I got the solutions. And these are the solutions that I think are going to assist you. And then you kind of like outline them, what they are. And then you get into the crux of the matter by speaking to each of the outlay, how your problem is going to be solved. Of course, you start with the problem in giving a definition of the problem. Once you give the definition of the problem, and then you get into solving the problem. And anybody that is sitting and they got debts and they want to get out of these debts, including building their credit score, they will sit watching, because who is in trouble? It is them. And then since they are in trouble and they came across your video that is going to be solving their problem, they will stick watching your video all the way to the end. However, if you started your YouTube video by, you know that they clicked because they thought they are going to get a problem solved, but you are still wasting time in the first 30 seconds and probably even the first minute, they will lose interest because people get bored real quick. Remember, I just told you that the world's attention span has decreased down to that of a goldfish. So you got a lot to do in just 30 seconds and you need to capture the audience, introduce the problem and how this problem is going to be solved to keep the audience watching for a long period of time from the beginning to the end. So MrBeast does advise that you need to meet the expectations of your viewers after they've seen the thumbnail and the title of your video. So it's important that you speak to both of these two elements that you've introduced before they even clicked on your video. If you're not, then they will start dropping off. You'll see the graph basically just plateauing. So what is the YouTube algorithm supposed to do with that video? Because it's dead. It's not going to promote a dead video. It's going to take it and kill it even more and throws it somewhere in the back burner and moves on to videos that are enjoying audience retention in this first 30 seconds. And you want your video to be one of those videos. So stop wasting time at the beginning of your video by introducing yourself and also having a video intro. It will waste the time of your video when people start dropping off and you wonder why my videos don't get so many views. It's because the problem is with the first 30 seconds of your video. That is where the YouTube algorithm, now repeat, this is where the YouTube algorithm will determine whether it takes the video and promotes it to more people. Yes, 30 seconds is nothing. But if people are watching the first 30 seconds and then they still stuck around watching your video for the next, if it's a 10-minute video, if you can get at least 6 minutes for people to continue watching to that point, then that's a good audience retention. That will be about what, 60-65% of the video. That is what the algorithm wants you to do, to get about 65% of people still watching your video after the 30-second mark. And this is exactly what triggers the algorithm to push your YouTube videos to even more people. And this is how you actually gain views and subscribers. And then once again, once it pushes your videos to more people, again, you still need to retain an audience retention of about 60-65%. You would be lucky to get MrBeast type of audience retention, which is at 76%. I don't want to lie, I'm jealous. When I heard him talk about those numbers in one of the interviews that he had, is like he gets 76% of audience retention on all of his videos. I was like, how do you do it? How do you do? I can't even do that even on a shorts, let alone on a long form video. How do you do it? So of course I went down his rabbit hole and I was like, oh my goodness, this guy is a genius. And I found more stuff that he does in the first 30 seconds. You see, the first 30 seconds are so crucial. Do not underestimate them. And he also speaks about that. Never underestimates the first 30 seconds of your video. So what happens after you have hooked your audience in the first 3 to 5 seconds? What about the next 25 to 27 seconds? What do you do? This is where you need to be strategic yourself, either through something that is going to captivate the audience. Like I said, either you build curiosity or you build fear or you build expectation. You know, the anticipation of like, okay, what's next? Let's get to the point. You get to the point. Like I said, you outlay the problem if you are solving a problem. If you are going to be doing a skit, get into the funny part as soon as possible and let people start laughing. And the more people laugh and they pause and laugh and then come back again and continue, then you must know that the first 30 seconds of your video, you are a winner. So I don't think this is something that you need to master. I think it's something that you need to have at the forefront of your head every time you sit down and press record. Get straight to the point. Your intro or your video's intro can come after the 30-second mark of your video, and then you can put your video's intro again. I will still discourage that your video intro should be any longer than 5 to 7 seconds long. Make sure that it is 5 to 7 seconds long. Beyond that, people will get bored and then they will click off, and then you will not reach the 30-second mark. Everything revolves around the first 30 seconds. That is your audience retention. Audience retention is a metric that YouTube values more than anything. It's it and likes. You see these two metrics. In fact, there are 5 metrics that gets the YouTube algorithm all excited and picks your video and promotes it. But the first 30 seconds, it's what it looks at. It's like doing a case. They're like, okay, let's see the first 30 seconds, what you got. And then once you surpass the 30 seconds, and then it wants to see how long you're going to keep your audience thereafter. And then if you keep your audience longer, they say longer than the 65% mark, then it will look at the third metric, which is engagement. How are people engaging this video? Are they liking the video? Are they commenting in the video? Are they sharing the video? Are they subscribing to the channel? All of those things play a major role in this thing called YouTube. So don't underestimate the whole YouTube world, how it works. It's hard work. That is why YouTube will be probably the hardest thing you have ever done in your life, because it's got all these intricacies that you need to follow. And then you're going to have people like me, Clantis, who'll be like, actually, what you think you are doing is incorrect. This is the right way to get your videos pushed by the YouTube algorithm. And of course, these are the technicalities I'm talking about. So of course, that is why your videos need to have value proposition. Once there are value propositions in your video, that is what keeps people going. I get a lot of comments on this very channel where people say, oh, I'm writing notes. Oh my goodness, this is so interesting. Oh my God, your video was so informative. And then I do see it in the likes. I do see it in the comments. I also see it in the subscriptions. I see it as well with my own audience retention, that first 30-second mark. I'm not quite sure how I am doing that because I still introduce myself, but I guess I've built a reputation that, okay, these guys' videos are value packed, so we won't mind the first 30 seconds that is introducing himself and wasting our time, which is something, of course, I need to change. If you've noticed, I've not done it in this video for the very reason of why I'm talking about this topic, audience retention, that do away with your intros. People already know who you are. It's written on your channel name. That is, if you're using your own name. If you're not using your own name, you will introduce yourself right at the end of the video or towards the end of the video. And then you can give your credentials as to who you are, what you've done, and how people, or what authority you have in the particular subject that you are talking about on your videos. The other thing that MrBeast talks about is effort. He says that people are not stupid. Viewers are not stupid. They can tell when you've done a half-hearted job. And as a result, is one of the reasons why they drop off. But if you put effort into your videos, people can tell that you took a lot of time in creating that video. They can tell that this video was researched. They can tell if everything about the video money was spent, and they can also tell that yourself as a presenter of your own videos, you are passionate about what you are talking about. Even if it's a vlog, your vlog as well, you need to show passion, you need to show effort, you need to show some level of quality. It doesn't talk about quality versus quantity. I still think personally that it doesn't matter which way you go, whether you go the quality route or you go the quantity route, but what matters is that there's an effort that was put in your videos, and that is what will reward you by you seeing views and subscribers on your channel. Now, in conclusion, let's talk about the end of your video. MrBeast also talks about how you must not indicate that your video is coming to an end. Instead, do something that is still going to keep your audience retention. So you see, you have the first 30 seconds of your video, and then when the video starts plateauing after the 60th, 65th second, this is after the 30 second, keep the line still straight. Don't let it keep dropping, because once your video has a line that's going like, or a graph that's going like this, it means everything is just, it's not going well for you. But if it goes like this, like a tick, is it a tick? Is that how a tick is like a tick? Keep it that way, because when you keep it that way, that means people are still sticking around after the 30-second mark and watching your video. Keep them all the way to the end, because many audience retention, you'll see that the line was probably like this because the video was interesting, but towards the end, it kind of like drops. That means you, the one who indicated that this is now the end of the video. So do not sound like this is the end of the video. Also, do not introduce that this video has come to an end. Like I also do it. I always say, well, this is it with this video. MrBeast says don't do that. Instead, put something that is going to interest people. Maybe like tell an intriguing story, or or crack a joke. Because if you do an intriguing story, people are still curious to hear the end result of that story. What happened? And then you end the video. By ending the video, you just say, don't forget to subscribe, goodbye. That means the graph continued this way. It didn't drop. You see what I'm trying to say? That is what he says about the ending of your video. So many audience or many viewers do not even stick around to hear what the end is, because some already know that you're going to do a call of action like, okay, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to click the bell notification, click the this and this and this, all the stuff that YouTubers do, share the video, comment, they already know that you're going to do that. So that's why they click off and they are gone. So that kind of like hurt my feelings to know that, oh my goodness, when I make a call of action at the end, nobody's actually watching it. Everybody is gone because I indicated that the video has come to an end. So it's important that you do not indicate that the video has come to an end. If it has come to an end, you might actually just don't say anything. Just the people will just see the video disappearing and the ad will start playing. You are still keeping your audience retention at this level. No plateaus. I don't know if I'm making sense on this video. I know I'm kind of like all over the place because I'm still a little bit excited. At the same time, I'm shocked at what I was hearing from MrBeast as I was listening to the interviews that he was part of, the variety of interviews that I watched of MrBeast, and I learned a lot from that. And I thought, let me compile a video and bring his pointers to your attention and see how you also get to enjoy the same growth and success he is enjoying on YouTube, because I want to be like MrBeast. I want my YouTube channel to be like MrBeast, to be as big as MrBeast's YouTube channel. It would be nice to have a MrBeast in Africa, and I'd like to be that. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.